the two stories and the origins of the objects and illustrations it's very educational for me. And and to be working with imagery that's so historical, it makes me think about how perhaps that they've set a precedence for where we are today, especially since within the Black Panther's coloring book, they talk a lot about police relations within it and between the two different communities. I wonder if you could speak to that a little.
I just found it was really interesting that I was using images from the 70s, and no one has ever questioned me on the date of the book, or the date of the images, because everything that they had recorded in this coloring book that was going on around that time is still happening today. And I feel like that in itself was something that just kept resonating with me the more I looked at the images. I have lots of copies of the coloring book. I have it in lots of different sizes. I cut out the figures kind of like paper dolls, and I use them and set them up in different scenarios. And unfortunately, it's images that I see every single day on social media and on the news. It's the exact same images. And it's scary to me how relevant it still is, which is another reason why it continues to compel me to make this type of work.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely understand that as like an activist artist, feminist artist, and that need to keep on responding to the past, but also the present. It's totally unfortunate that we feel we have to make this work, and we need to make this work, which sort of brings me to another question of what do you hope people see or get from seeing your work?
I just hope people ask more questions and do some research, and just ask more questions. You don't assume, don't believe everything you see in the media, and talk to people. Talk to a person of color, and but also do your research, about America, about what is really happening. I think now people's eyes are open, and it's one of the things that really opened my eyes to social media, was that all of this has been happening. Like I said, these images that were originally from the 70s, early 70s, late 60s, all of those images and everything that's going on right now has been happening, only now it's just now being filmed. And that's the only thing that's different. Everything else has been the same.
Well, I really appreciate you bringing that aspect to the art show. So many of the different artists within it come from their own personal perspective when it comes to gun violence and the effect of it, but there's also a historical component to a lot of the artworks within the show, and yours definitely goes to a place that a lot of people just don't know about.
Right.
And I'm really glad that you're bringing that to our attention. So I'd love to keep on going. I feel like we could go all night, but I think we have to wrap it up at this point. I'm sorry. Where can people find you and learn more about your artwork or see more of it?
Well, I have a website, and I'm mostly on Instagram, which is at Karmimadeebora. Pretty easy to find, since so far there's only one Karmimadeebora out there. So But yes, I mostly post on my Instagram though, which is the best place to see my work.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me and talking to me. It's been a while that we've been able to talk. But yeah, thank you for being on the show and stay well, stay healthy.
Thank you for inviting me to join this exhibition, and I'm so glad it was able to get put up, since we were like right on the cusp of that. So I know a lot of artists shows were postponed or canceled, so I'm really glad that we had the chance to be able to get this show up during this time since it's so relevant.
Yes.
uh,
Unfortunately, it's
um,
so relevant.
yeah, so thank you so much for even considering me for this, so really appreciate it.